Hello and welcome back to the Film Club. The club where we talk about films we've been recently watching, viewing and enjoying them, and know what you've been recently watching and enjoying. And if you've seen what I'm about to talk about, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. I was not aware of A Real Pain's existence. I didn't know it was a film that was coming out until probably maybe a week and a half ago, and I instantly, as soon as I saw the trailer, thought, I want to see that. For the main reason that Jesse Eisenberg, I love. From a young age, when I saw him in A Social Network, I've always loved his work. He's made some odd choices here and there in the parts that he takes, but overall, I still love seeing him on screen. I think his presence is brilliant. I think his demeanor and the way he talks and the way he expresses emotions is just fantastic. So I was already hooked. And then when I saw that it was he was directing it, I was like, even more so that I needed to see it, because I was so interested on what his take as a director would look like. Him as a person is so intriguing and brilliant, and hopefully that shone through as a director. And it absolutely did. This was such an intimate film. This was like, I honestly feel like I was part of the tour. Like, if you've not seen a Real Pain, or you don't know what it's about, basically these two people, Benji and David. They're very polar opposites. They're cousins that grew up together. David is very, settled. He's got a wife, he's got a kid. He's very just like, I go to work, I do this, I do that, and he's okay. Benji is the complete opposite. He's sort of had troubles in life and doesn't really know where he's at, and he's really struggling with the grief of his grandmother, who's just passed away. We find sort of midway through the film, spoiler alert if you've not seen it, we find midway through the film that he attempted to commit suicide, and so it sort of just like adds to this layer of depth of the character. He's very interesting. He's a very interesting person. I mean, the actor, Kieran Culkin, just smashed it out of the park. Like, every time he is on screen, he steals it. And that is a shock to say, because Jesse Eisenberg is insanely good in this. Like, there's a monologue that he has when he's sat at a table in a restaurant that is it's just one of those monologues that sticks with you and you remember. And I always love when actors just delve into a deep monologue, and this, brilliant. But at the same time, Kieran, throughout the film, every time he's on, the range of emotion, the switch, and the mental troubledness of this character is so brilliantly told through this guy, and so absolute praise to him. But anyway, the story revolves around those two going to Poland to go and visit the house of their grandma who's passed away. They join a tour that David puts them on so that they sort of like go around and see Poland and see little touristy places and stuff like that before going to see their grandma's house at the end. Firstly, can I just say, like, I don't know a lot about Poland. I've not ever been. I don't know what sort of the architecture or just how it looks. But oh my god, this film makes it. I feel like I've been. Like, it's such a stunning. It shows the whole place as just this stunning, rich. Like, it's so rich in its culture and the architecture and the colours, and it feels like almost like a healing country from its horrific past that this film does delve into, with a big part of it being around religion, and these are the tour that they're in is sort of a bunch of people who are Jewish or have known someone who's Jewish and are sort of like learning the cultural past and stuff like that. One of the most harrowing scenes in the film is when the tour group visits a concentration camp. And like, I've never been to one, and I can imagine how eerie it is and just horrific. And this film brilliantly shows that and tells that. It cuts all the music. It has slow, wide shots of just the tour going around it. And it's a small tour. There's only sort of 6 or 7 people in it. And it shows them reacting to it. It is horrific. And throughout the film, this is what I loved. Like, I felt like I was there with them. Like, it doesn't rush anything. It takes its time. It has just some beautiful shots of, like I say, architecture or just stills of a sunset or just places around the country. And I don't know what Jesse Eisenberg's relation to Poland or Jewish culture is, if any. I'm not entirely sure. I should probably look it up, but he tells it in such a way that it's like, surely you've got to have been. Like, I don't know, the brilliant way he tells it, I would be surprised if he wasn't. This film was brilliant. The cast was fantastic. Like, not just the main two, but everyone in the group brings something different. And the mad thing is this film is a comedy, sort of. It's like a half comedy, and when it does delve into the comedy elements, it hits. Like, the jokes are funny, the jokes are good, they had the cinema laughing. How a film is so brilliantly beautiful, tells such horrific tales, but at the same time can make you laugh. It takes you on such a full circle of emotions, and that's sort of shown in the film in a way, because it starts with Benji in the airport and it ends with Benji in the airport. But he's at a completely different place in life. The ending isn't what you want it to be, and I did read up on this. The ending is, so the two cousins are not really as close as they used to be, especially David. He's very unattached from Benji. But towards the end of the film, he invites him round for dinner. He's like, come on, come back with me and have dinner with my wife and kid. And Benji's like, nah, I'm okay. I'm just going to sit here in the airport. And at first it's a bit like, what? Like, why? And it doesn't make sense, because you want the film and you sort of feel like, you know, as a film person, that it ends in that way. It ends with the happy ending. But what I read up was Jesse Eisenberg sort of said, I don't want it to just be a happy ending. I don't want it to be happy-go-lucky. You know, Benji is troubled and he's still troubled. While he's in a happier, better place by the end of it, he's not all there, and life isn't always just the happy ending. And I thought that was brilliant. And yeah, I really enjoyed this film. Like I say, it came out of nowhere, and I love it. Anyway, let me know if you've seen A Real Pain. What did you think of it? And I will see you next time on The Film Vid.